Good morning, everyone. I am so glad to see you back at virtual preschool. And we are starting a whole nother week. So let's go ahead and figure out what day it is. So what day did we have last school day? Thursday, yes. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. So today is Tuesday. Yes, so let's move that rainbow arrow up to Tuesday. There we go. And who remembers what the name of our month is right now? February, that's right. So let's go ahead and count those numbers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and what comes next? 8. Yes, so let's figure out what the picture is going to be. Heart, mailbox, mailbox. Heart, mailbox, mailbox. Heart, what comes next? Mailbox, yes. So we have a number 8 with a mailbox on it. And we need to do one more because that was yesterday, the 4's class day. So 6, 7, 8, what comes next? 9, yes. And let's see about our pattern. Heart, mailbox, mailbox. Heart, mailbox. What comes next? Mailbox, yes. So we have a number 9 with a mailbox on it. All right. So today is Tuesday, February 9th, 2021. All right, so we need to look out the window and see what the weather is like today at your house. So when you look out your window, is it partly cloudy, cloudy, sunny, windy, rainy, stormy, or snowy? And if you step outside your door to feel what the temperature feels like, does it feel burning hot, hot, warm, cool, cold, or freezing cold? And remember, have your mom or dad look up the temperature on their weather app so that you start to understand the numbers that go with the temperature and the feeling of the temperature, all right? So, guess what we're talking about this week? It's another February holiday. Yes, it's Valentine's Day. So we are talking about Valentine's Day this week. So I have a special Valentine's Day book to read to you. I really like this Valentine's Day story because it kind of incorporates the seasons and the weather into it. So let's see what it is. I even incorporate some of what animals do in the winter too. So this is called The Valentine Bears. Let's see what happens in this book. It was October 14th, and the bear's den was snug and secure for the winter. Mrs. Bear set her alarm for February 14th. Then she curled herself comfortably against Mr. Bear's back and listened to his snores. It was good to settle down for a long 4 months' sleep. When the alarm went off 4 months later, Mrs. Bear could hardly believe it. It seemed as if she'd just gone to bed. "My," she said, yawning, "spring already?" And then she remembered it wasn't spring yet. She'd set the alarm early for a special reason. I wonder what that special reason is. Mrs. Bear stretched, scratched, kissed Mr. Bear on his nose, and got up. Mr. Bear could sleep through just about anything, and she was glad. She had things to do. First, she made a sign. "It's nice to share Valentine's Day with someone you love." She tacked the sign on the wall so Mr. Bear would see it the instant he awoke. Leaves had blown into the den while they slept. Mrs. Bear brushed them into a pile and swept them outside. "Brr," she said, standing in front of the den. "You'd think they'd put this special day in summer." Mr. Bear and I have never shared a Valentine's Day in all our years together. Mrs. Bear dug up the honey pot she'd buried in the fall. She pawed off the lid and smiled. It was fruity and rich and smelled of summer, just the way Mr. Bear liked it. Mrs. Bear carried the pot inside and put it on the table next to the bowl of crunchy, dried beetles and bugs. Crispy critters. How Mr. Bear loved crispy critters. She had made 2 Valentine poems way back in summer. Now she got them out of a drawer. One said, "Red berries are red, blue berries are blue, termites are sweet, and you are too." So termites are a bug. "Your teeth are so sharp, your claws are so fine, dear Mr. Bear, you are my Valentine." She couldn't decide which poem she liked best, so she decided to give them both to Mr. Bear. Mrs. Bear huddled herself deep in her coat and went outside again. "Only crazy creatures would be out this early in the year," she muttered. The sun shone through a haze, pale as milk. Crows cawed in the white air. The arms of the trees scratched at the sky. Mrs. Bear clawed away the ice on the top of the pond. She splashed water on her ears and muzzle. She sleeked her head fur and took a long, cold drink. It was time to waken Mr. Bear. Mr. Bear's snores drifted from the den, and she smiled. Mr. Bear could sleep through just about anything. Mrs. Bear shook his shoulder. "Time to get up, Mr. Bear." "Honk," snored Mr. Bear. Mrs. Bear shook harder. "Wake up, Mr. Bear." Mr. Bear shrugged her away and turned his face to the wall. "Just another 5 weeks," he begged. Mrs. Bear poked his back. "Happy Valentine's Day." Mr. Bear curled himself into a fur ball. "Honk," he said. "Oh, no, you don't." Mrs. Bear pulled. Mrs. Bear pulled Mr. Bear's ear till he uncurled himself. She tickled his paws. She pried open his eyes and watched them drop closed again. "Honk," said Mr. Bear. Mrs. Bear sighed. She took their empty berry can, snuggled deep in her coat, and went back outside. A wolverine slept safe in a hollow log. A deer drank from the pond. It stopped drinking and looked at Mrs. Bear with surprise as she filled the berry can. Mrs. Bear decided the deer had never seen a bear up and about so early. Deer's probably never seen a bear in a coat before either. She carried the can of ice water inside. "I'm sorry about this, Mr. Bear," she said, "but you can't just keep on sleeping. This is a very special day. 1, 2, 3. "Surprise!" Mr. Bear shouted and sat straight up. It was a surprise, all right. Mrs. Bear jumped and the ice water splashed all over her. Mr. Bear hugged her. "You thought I could sleep through just about anything, didn't you?" he boomed. "Well, I fooled you. Happy Valentine's Day." He pulled a box from under his pillow. "I've had these here all along." "Oh, Mr. Bear, chocolate-covered ants, my very favorites." Mr. Bear licked his lips. "Mine, too." He admired the sign on the wall. Then Mrs. Bear ran for the poems, and Mr. Bear read them aloud. Dear Mr. Bear, you are my Valentine. That's lovely. His nose wrinkled. Is that fruity, rich summer honey I smell? Mrs. Bear smiled. Will you join me at the table? They sat together, sharing the Valentine treats, till shadows filled the den, and the bowl and the box and the honey pot were empty, and the special day was ended.
On it.
And then they went to sleep again until spring. I don't know what that sudden noise was there, if you guys heard it. All right, so I really like that book. I hope you do too. It has Valentine's Day, it has animals in winter, it has seasons, it has weather, it has all kinds of stuff. All right, so let me show you what I have today. So this week we have our February calendar. All right, so remember when we do this, we always write our name on it. And then we trace the numbers. And since you all are in the 3's class, you can just trace as many as you would like. But my rule in the 4's class is if you're 4 or 5, you have to trace all the numbers. All right, so there we go, my name, and I trace some of the numbers. And then here's the fun part. We are going to learn how to make a magic heart. So also in your packet, you have a folded piece of paper with kind of what looks like half of a heart on it. All right, you need to keep this folded. All right, you're going to get your scissors, and you're going to use your helper hand to hold the folded piece of paper, and you're going to cut on that line of the half a heart. Remember to keep your thumb up. And if you keep it folded and cut on the black line, when you get to the very end, you can open it up and it's a magic heart. Isn't that cool? All right, so then you'll also need another piece of paper. Okay, I just have a purple piece here, and I'm going to put some glue on the back of my heart so I can glue it down to my paper. All right, stick it on there, and then we need to glue our calendar to this paper. So we put glue on each of the top 2 corners. Make sure to get plenty on there so it doesn't fall off. Stick it to the bottom of your heart paper, and you have your February calendar. All right. Let's see what else we have over here. Yes, in your packet you also have something that looks like this. It has some directions for a scavenger hunt on it. All right, so attached on the back are these little things that look like envelopes. So these are supposed to be little Valentines, and they have numbers on them. All right, and so you can use a bag or a basket or a box. This suggests making a fancy Valentine box. You could do that too, but it doesn't have to be. Have your mom or dad or grandma or grandpa hide these around the house. Okay, we have numbers 1 to 10 and 11 to 20. So if you know your numbers to 10, you can just have them hide those. If you are working on your numbers to 20 or already know them, you can have your mom or dad or grandma and grandpa hide all of the numbers. All right, then you're going to take your bag or your box or your basket and go around the house and find as many of these as you can. All right. Then you're going to bring them back, and on the floor, you're going to work on putting them in order from 1 to 10 or 1 to 20. And if you need help with mom or dad or grandma and grandpa, that's fine too. And then you will see if there are any missing numbers. If there are any missing numbers, you have to do some more scavenger hunting to find the rest. Okay, so that is our Valentine scavenger hunt. Also in your packet, you have a little baggie that has a pink string and a paper heart and a few little beads. All right, so what you're going to do with this is you will have, and I realized after I made them kind of short, but so you're going to have somebody tie a knot in the end, and what I usually like to do is fold my yarn over like that and then tie it kind of like this, and don't pull it too tight because you want to be able to take it out. Okay, that will keep the beads from falling off. All right, so then the other end has tape on it, and that's kind of like your needle for threading. All right, so I'm going to take my beads and I'm going to string them on here in whatever order you want. You could try to make a pattern. You could just put them on there randomly, however you want. Okay. And if you happen to have more beads at home that you want to add to it, you could also do that. Miss Mika is kind of limited on her bead color selection right now, so let's see here. All right, and then at some point you're going to decide to put this heart on. Now, the heart has 2 holes in it, so you need to string your yarn through both holes. All right, like that. All right, and then on the other side, you will put the rest of the beads. Out here so I can get them. All right, then when you're all done, you're gonna have your mom or dad or grandma or grandpa help you to untie the knot that they tied in that one end. Okay, and then you will tie your necklace together. Hopefully it's not too short. I did not realize quite how short I made these when I made them. So hopefully it will be okay. Feel free if you have a longer piece of yarn. Oops, I'm trying to get this in the middle to use it. All right, then you're gonna take your 2 ends, tie them together, and you have a little Valentine's Day necklace. All right. So that is what I have to show you today. I hope you have a great rest of your day. Remember that there are no small groups today because we are having our all-class Valentine Day party on Thursday at 10:30, okay? Don't forget to make your Valentine's Day cookie craft. I put information about that in the email I sent out. That's something you're going to share with the rest of the class on Thursday at the party. And you'll also want to bring that red foam heart, okay? That's going to also be for an activity during the party, all right? So have a great day. I will see all of you on Thursday for our Valentine party. Bye, everyone.